Reflection, remembrance, and recognition of the lives lost in the pandemic. People across the UK came together to hold a minute's silence. Commemorations in London were held at the National COVID Memorial Wall in Westminster. Fran Hall is one of those responsible for the wall. She comes here to remember her husband, who died from COVID 3 weeks after their wedding.
I came on the first day when we were painting hearts back in March 2021. That was the very first heart I painted, and I've gone over it since with masonry paint, and that's the one that I did for Steve. It would be good if the people who died from COVID were recognised in the same way that we recognise the people that died in the war. If this day became a day like Armistice Day, there's so many people that we've lost and they're just not remembered.
Like Steve's, each of the hearts on the wall was a person. In fact, the deaths of over 230,000 people in the United Kingdom were attributed to COVID-19. At the peaks in 2020 and 2021, over 1,000 people died a day. And the latest figures show there were 26 COVID deaths for one day last November. Today isn't just about those who lost their lives in the pandemic. It's also about the legacy of lockdown, which we're still very much feeling today. It impacted our healthcare system, our economy, and our children's education. School attendance has dramatically worsened. The Department for Education says more than 20% of students were persistently absent in the autumn and spring terms of the 2022 school year, double what it was before COVID. But campaigners say families are still struggling with the ramifications of the pandemic.
We didn't have in place any sort of disaster planning or a recovery curriculum to help children either have space to reconnect and play and be with each other, but also the time that was required. If anybody has experienced any kind of a traumatic event, we all know that grief and the impact of loss and disruption ripples across us for many months and years to come.
From those struggling with the cost of living to others suffering with long COVID, there's no doubt the pandemic has changed all our lives. But campaigners hope this annual day of reflection can at least bring people together. Alice Porter, Sky News.